Why is Visa called Visa? When you hear the name Visa, you probably think of the little logo sitting on your debit card or credit card. It's one of the most recognizable financial brands in the world. Accepted in more than 200 countries and territories, Visa processes trillions of dollars in transactions every year. But have you ever stopped to wonder why it's called Visa? The answer is surprisingly practical. Visa wasn't originally called Visa at all. The name was chosen because the company wanted something short, universal, and instantly understood around the world. Just like a travel visa allows you to cross international borders, Visa wanted its payment cards to work wherever you went. The message was simple: your money should travel with you. And while that explains the name, it doesn't explain how one of the world's largest payment networks ended up needing a complete rebrand in the first place. Because before Visa became Visa, it had a very different identity. To understand the story, we need to go back to the late 1950s. At the time, paying for everyday purchases looked very different. Most Americans relied on cash or checks. Credit cards existed, but they were limited. Many were issued by department stores and could only be used at specific businesses. There was no single payment system that worked almost everywhere. One person who recognized this opportunity was Joseph P. Williams, an executive at Bank of America. In 1958, Bank of America launched an ambitious experiment in Fresno, California. The bank mailed thousands of credit cards directly to residents without them even applying. The product was called BankAmericard. It was a bold move. It was also chaotic. Fraud losses mounted. People weren't familiar with credit cards. Merchants had to adapt to an entirely new system. For a while, the project looked like a disaster. But Bank of America kept refining the model. Over time, BankAmericard began to work. Consumers appreciated the convenience. Businesses liked the increase in spending. And other banks wanted in. Rather than expanding entirely on its own, Bank of America licensed the BankAmericard system to financial institutions across the United States. Eventually, banks in other countries joined as well. The problem was obvious. The name BankAmericard worked when the company was closely tied to Bank of America. It worked reasonably well inside the United States. But internationally, not so much. Imagine trying to convince customers in Europe, Asia, or Latin America to adopt a card branded with another country's name. As the network expanded globally during the 1970s, executives realized they needed something new. They needed a name that wasn't tied to a single bank, a name that wasn't tied to a single country, a name that suggested international acceptance. In 1976, BankAmericard officially became Visa. The choice was intentional. The word Visa was short. It was easy to pronounce in many languages. It carried positive associations with travel and access. Most importantly, it communicated the company's biggest promise. No matter where you went, your card could go with you. It was one of the smartest rebranding decisions in financial history. The timing couldn't have been better. International travel was increasing. Global commerce was expanding. Consumers were becoming more comfortable with electronic payments. The new name helped position Visa as a worldwide network rather than an American banking product. And that's an important distinction, because Visa doesn't actually issue credit cards. Many people assume Visa lends money directly to consumers. It doesn't. Instead, Visa operates the payment network that connects banks, merchants, and customers. The banks issue the cards. Visa moves the information. In many ways, Visa became the infrastructure behind modern commerce. As technology evolved, Visa evolved with it. Magnetic stripes gave way to chip cards. Chip cards led to contactless payments. Physical cards expanded into mobile wallets. But through every change, the brand remained remarkably consistent. Today, billions of people carry cards bearing the Visa logo. Most never think twice about the name. They simply expect it to work, whether they're buying groceries down the street or making purchases halfway around the world. That's ultimately why Visa is called Visa, because the company wanted to create a payment system without borders, a network that could travel wherever people traveled, a name that represented acceptance, access, and global reach. Not bad for a company that started life as something called BankAmericard. And perhaps that's the real lesson behind the name. Sometimes changing what you're called isn't just a marketing decision. Sometimes it's the moment you decide what you want to become. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, consider liking and subscribing for more stories behind the world's biggest brands. And let us know in the comments, which brand should we investigate next?